I think when you consider that most banks, 60% of their customer base would use multiple channels, more than one channel of the bank. And when you also consider how easy it is for customers these days to move from one bank to another, and they're very cost conscious, I think it's critical to get this right. So without doubt, it's becoming ever increasingly important. A customer's experience is probably born out of the aggregate of all their experiences from all of the touch points. So getting each touch point in its own right to be a good experience is critical. But what's becoming more important is to get consistency across those channels, so they see the brand and the reputation of the bank is upheld throughout the whole experience. That's one critical item. I think secondly, the whole ease of use, that hasn't gone away. The customer's ease of use experience is important, but now what's become more important is to get that ease of use across multiple channels as well. And then the quality of service, I think that's always been important, but now the expectation is perhaps to be giving an even more personalised quality of service as well. So it's, of course, becoming ever increasingly important. I think part of the capabilities we provide is the analytics. We can actually tell the business exactly what's working and what's not. Most banks out there have got great capabilities for customers to self-serve through the various channels. And so providing the statistics as to what's working well, where the drop-offs are, where someone's trying to use a capability and it's not working, I think we've got a huge part to play in working with the business there. I think similarly in helping a lot of capabilities that are built in the bank are not fully understood by customers or even staff, and I think helping educate our staff and customers as to the capabilities that we already have is quite important. But for example, we build a lot of capability on our internet platform, so to use a small example, to do, say, a telegraphic transfer. An overseas telegraphic transfer can be done online in a very secure manner with two-factor authentication, etc. There could still be customers out there that they don't know that capability exists, and the staff may not know it exists. So when they go into a branch and want to make a telegraphic transfer, the staff may give them a paper-based form and say, look, why don't you fill this out and we'll process it for you. And they'll do that again next time because they haven't been given the education. I think working closely with the business, IT have a part to play to say, look, we've got this capability, it's not being leveraged enough. And so I think rather than just going on and building the next online capability or digital capability, it's quite incumbent upon leveraging what is built. For me, an early learning is standardisation is important. We all aspire to get standardisation for efficiency, particularly in an international bank. And I think the build-out of responsive web type capability goes a long way towards that. But an early learning is that you've still got to make sure you format in a ease of use manner for our customers. You can't compromise and sort of have something shrunk down and say, now we're on a mobile and yes, we're going to have to drop off a few of these fields or capabilities. You can't make those compromises. So whilst you might want to build once, you've got a format for the devices. We've got to learn to use all the devices to their full capability. So if you're building mobility apps on iPhones, iPads for our staff use, make sure you're capable of using the location-based devices. For example, the other day we were thinking of an application where our sales staff could be out working with, say, small businesses, and because it knows where they are, it could tell them where their next client is, if they're responsible for up to 200 clients geographically, and you could make a quick visit to them because they're close by. So understand all the features of the devices that you're using. And then analytics is a key feature. To give personalised service, you've got to know your customers' behaviours and their preferred channels, etc. Perhaps last but not least, it's ensuring the customer journey can be completed well across channels. We had these days in Singapore and some other markets, you can actually apply for products self-service online. So you can open a current account on your own without a wet signature online. But sometimes if it's not, and you can even do this on a mobile phone, sometimes if the customer hasn't got all of their documentation available with them to take a photograph of their IC or their proof of address, etc., they may end up stopping the process halfway through. It's absolutely critical that it's easy for them to complete the process, albeit unfinished, in a unhindered way. So we've captured everything they've done so far, and they get a nice prompt to remind them to just finish off the process. I think that's a critical component as well.